It began with a single photo, grainy, unplanned, and impossibly intimate. Sam, Heughan and Caitríona Balfe stood in a small kitchen, laughing over a pot on the stove. No makeup, no costumes, no cameras. Just two people cooking together, comfortable in a way that only family can be. Fans immediately went wild. Was this the proof of the hidden life that had long been whispered about, the private world Sam and Caitríona shared away from the spotlight? For nearly a decade, they had been the beating heart of Outlander, living as Jamie and Claire Fraser, a love so powerful that it blurred the line between fiction and reality. But what most people didn't know was that off-screen, Sam and Caitríona had quietly built something deeper than even their on-screen marriage. In the early days of filming, when Outlander was still finding its rhythm, the two of them bonded instantly. "We became each other's anchor," Sam once said. "We were both new to something massive, and we held on to each other to survive it." That bond only grew stronger. They celebrated birthdays together, spent holidays with the same circle of friends, and often shared quiet dinners after exhausting shoot days. Crew members said it was almost ritual, Sam cooking while Caitríona poured the wine, their laughter echoing through the trailer park like music. "They're like family," one crew member shared. "You can feel it. It's not just friendship, it's care. The kind of care that doesn't stop when the cameras do." What fans didn't see was how much they leaned on each other through the hardest years. When schedules got brutal and rumors swirled online, Sam and Caitríona found refuge in the simple things: hiking through the Highlands, Sunday meals, spontaneous movie nights. Sometimes, Caitríona revealed in a rare interview, "You just need someone who understands the madness. For me, that's always been Sam." The two even developed little family-like habits over the years. Sam became Uncle Sam to Caitríona's child, often bringing small gifts or reading Scottish bedtime stories when visiting. Caitríona, in turn, became close with Sam's family in Scotland, his mother often sending her homemade gifts and notes calling her "our girl." It was a bond built not on romance, but on something quieter and stronger: unconditional loyalty. "People see chemistry," Sam said once, "but what they're really seeing is trust. We've shared a lifetime of memories. That's more intimate than any love story." Still, the secrecy surrounding their personal connection only fueled speculation. Fans began calling them the hidden family, pointing to years of photos showing them together off-set, dinners, walks, quiet getaways. The internet brimmed with theories. Did they share a home? Did their families spend time together? Were they keeping something bigger from the world? The truth, it seemed, was both simpler and more extraordinary. Sam and Caitríona had created what they often referred to as their chosen family. It wasn't romantic. It was real, rooted in shared history, respect, and a rare kind of love that doesn't fit into categories. "You don't always get to choose who feels like home," Caitríona said softly in one interview. "But sometimes you find it in the most unexpected place, like a film set." Their connection extended beyond themselves. They hosted dinners for cast and crew, making sure no one felt left out during holidays away from home. Sam would open bottles of his Sassenach whiskey, Caitríona would bring her favorite recipes, and together they'd create an atmosphere that felt less like a production and more like a household. "It was like being part of something sacred," one crew member said. Everyone called it the Fraser family dinners. You could tell it came from them, from Sam and Caitríona. They built that sense of belonging. Even in interviews, their warmth toward each other was undeniable. When asked what kept them grounded after years of fame, Sam replied, "Caitríona keeps me sane. She's my balance." Caitríona smiled beside him. "He's my chaos," she teased. "But I wouldn't trade him for anything." The more they opened up, the more it became clear. Whatever label people wanted to give their relationship, it transcended all of them. "We're not just co-stars," Sam said once, his voice quiet. "We're family. Always have been." And perhaps that's what makes their story so unbelievable. In a world obsessed with gossip and illusion, Sam, Heughan and Caitríona Balfe had found something real, and protected it fiercely. As the photo of them in that kitchen continued to spread, fans argued over its meaning. Was it proof of a hidden love story? Or something even rarer? A glimpse into the unshakable bond of two souls who had built a family, not by blood or by romance, but by choice. Whatever the truth, one thing was certain. When Sam and Caitríona stood side by side, laughing in that small kitchen, they looked like two people who had already found their home. When the photo of Heughan and Caitríona Balfe cooking together began circulating online, it spread faster than anyone expected. Fans dissected every detail. The mugs on the counter, the framed photos on the wall, the ease in their smiles. Within hours, the internet was buzzing with one question. Had their hidden family life finally been revealed? For the first time in years, Sam and Caitríona found themselves at the center of a storm they hadn't created. But instead of denying the rumors or fueling them, both stayed quiet, at least for a while. Some things, Sam would later say, don't need defending. They just exist. In truth, the photo wasn't staged, and it wasn't part of a PR campaign. It was taken by a mutual friend during one of their small get-togethers at Sam's house in Scotland, a tradition that had quietly continued for years. Cast members, close friends, and even family would gather for what they jokingly called Fraser Sundays. There were no red carpets, no scripts, just food, laughter, and the kind of closeness born out of shared history. When you spend almost a decade playing soulmates, Caitríona explained later, you become part of each other's real lives, too. Our families got to know each other, our friends overlapped, our lives just blended. She smiled as she spoke, remembering the chaos of those dinners. Sam insisting on cooking everything himself, Caitríona teasing him about over-seasoning, and someone inevitably spilling wine on the tablecloth. It wasn't glamorous, she laughed. It was real, it was home. But to fans who had followed their journey from the beginning, the revelation hit deeper. They saw it as proof that Sam and Caitríona's connection wasn't just professional chemistry. It was something pure, enduring, and human. Social media exploded with messages like, "They're family, and that's more beautiful than any romance," and "This is what true love looks like, quiet, respectful, lasting." Even former castmates chimed in. Graham McTavish, one of Sam's closest friends, commented jokingly under an old photo, "The real Fraser clan lives on, apparently in Sam's kitchen." As the conversation grew, journalists began reaching out, hoping for a statement. It wasn't until a month later that Sam decided to speak. Sitting in a softly lit studio, he smiled when the interviewer brought up the viral photo. "Ah, yes," he said, laughing. "The world finally discovered our secret, Caitríona's terrible cooking." The joke broke the tension, but then his tone softened. "You know," he continued, "people always want to define relationships. They want to label them so they can understand them. But what Caitríona and I have, it doesn't fit neatly into a box. She's part of my chosen family. That's the truth." When Caitríona was later asked the same question during a podcast, her answer echoed his perfectly. "Sam and I have shared everything, success, failure, exhaustion, joy. That kind of connection doesn't fade. It's not romantic, it's not distant, it's home. He's home." Her voice wavered slightly as she added, "My son calls him Uncle Sam." I think that says it all. That one sentence made headlines everywhere. Fans melted, news outlets called it the revelation that redefined love. But to Sam and Caitríona, it wasn't revelation at all. It was simply the truth they'd been living all along. Over time, the world began to understand that their hidden family life wasn't a scandal. It was something quietly beautiful. A friendship so deep it had become a kind of family, an unbreakable bond built not on romantic fantasy, but on years of trust, laughter, and shared dreams. In the following months, both actors continued to share glimpses of their lives. Not the grand gestures fans expected, but the small, real moments that spoke volumes. A photo of Caitríona and her son visiting Sam's whiskey distillery. A clip of Sam cheering for Caitríona at a film premiere. Birthday messages exchanged with inside jokes that only the two of them could understand. Each glimpse reminded fans that love, real love, doesn't always have to follow the traditional rules. Sometimes, it simply means being there. In one of his final interviews of the year, Sam summed it up best. "I think what people saw as a secret was really just our way of protecting something precious," he said. "In this industry, you lose so much of your private life. But we kept this one thing, our family, safe." He paused before smiling. "You can fake a lot on screen. But you can't fake care. You can't fake family." And somewhere in Scotland, on another quiet Sunday, Sam and Caitríona once again stood in that same kitchen, cooking, laughing, surrounded by friends, proving without words that some connections don't need explaining. Because the truth was never unbelievable at all. It was simply love, real, imperfect, unspoken, and utterly unbreakable.